Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. They're in unmarked vans, wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons. No chance to mount a defense, not even a chance to kiss a loved one goodbye, just grabbed up by masked agents, shoved into those vans, and disappeared.
When you compare the old films of the Gestapo grabbing people off the streets of Poland, and you compare them to those nondescript thugs who grabbed that student, that graduated student, it does look like a Gestapo operation.
The United States is running concentration camps on our southern border, and that is exactly what they are. They are concentration camps.
Because if we just roll this clock on the wall back 75 years, we'd be looking at a time in Nazi Germany where people ran around with signs like this new ICE sign that says, report all foreign invaders to ICE, with Uncle Sam there holding up the sign. This could have been a Gestapo member 75 years ago, report all Jews.
When I see ICE, I see slave patrols.
The dangers that we saw in Nazi Germany are the dangers that we need to react to now.
And every American, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, moderate, people should be forcefully rising up against this.
They need to be more willing to go out there and get shot when fighting. That was a direct quote, get shot when fighting back against some of Trump's policies. One House Democrat saying, quote, and I'll read it to you, our own base is telling us that what we're doing is not good enough. There needs to be blood to grab the attention of the press and the public.
We have to occupy all of it. We need to occupy every airport. We need to occupy every border. We need to occupy every ICE office.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
Referring to the video, President Trump writing, seditious behavior from traitors. Lock them up.
You lay a finger on someone, on Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman, or any of the representatives that were there, you lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem.
An authoritarian government in Washington, D.C. is dispatching masked agents to abduct immigrants from our streets.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach and are trying to hide their identities from the American people will be unsuccessful in doing that. This is America. This is not the Soviet Union. We're not behind the Iron Curtain. This is not the 1930s. And every single one of them, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified.
This is not Germany. That's the SS and the Gestapo. This is the United States of America. Unmask yourself.
I called ICE the modern-day Gestapo a few months ago, and some people thought that was going too far, thought that was too extreme, got angry at me for saying that. Well, come on, like that's literally what's going on.
ICE is a terrorist organization. It needs to be defunded and needs to be abolished.
We're seeing aggressive Gestapo-type tactics in people being approached on the street, in their home, at the clinic, at church, at all kinds of locations. That's why this morning on the House of the Floor, I warned the American people that this is looking like the American Gestapo in the making.
I didn't know that he was going to schedule a rally at Madison Square Garden to mimic the Nazi rally of 10 February 1939. They're telling you we're going to institute a fascist regime. Now, I'm so sick of these people. The entire Constitution is in jeopardy. The Supreme Court and Clarence Thomas have totally green-lighted the idea that you could use the military to round up your political enemies.
They're acting more like vigilantes than of agents of our government.
And these ICE agents running around our communities like masked bank robbers, terrorizing women.
That's happening in the United States of America. Masked men jumping out of unmarked cars, people disappearing, no due process, no oversight, zero accountability, happening in the United States of America today. These are not just authoritarian tendencies. These are authoritarian actions by an authoritarian government.
Maybe they're not going to get prosecuted today, although we're looking at doing that. But they may get prosecuted after the Trump administration for the things that they did because the statute of limitations won't have run.
Our police officers will not be cooperating with federal law enforcement
around federal immigration law. As for cooperation with ICE, the answer is no.
All over the country, we will continue to stand up for our rights, and we will continue to call out the terrorist organization that is ICE.
Black people, brown people of all stripes, whether you're an Indian American or a Mexican American or whoever you are, go out in your place where you live and get a gun legally, get a license to carry legally. Because when you have people knocking on your door and taking you away without due process as a citizen, isn't that what the Second Amendment was written for? Nobody is illegal. It is a misdemeanor to cross the border. Go out and get a gun.
Take a look at this video right here. It appears a protester fired some kind of gun at federal agents. This happened this afternoon. It was a really chaotic scene at the time. A lot of smoke was being launched at the protesters. And again, it appears a protester fired back with that weapon.
2 brothers have been arrested, charged with threatening to shoot police and ICE agents. And one of them is an assistant principal at Kempsville High School.
Court documents reveal that the brothers were overheard talking at a restaurant where Mark Bennett mentioned how he had an assault rifle with the ability to utilize explosive rounds that could penetrate protective vests.
Chicago police get caught in the unrest in the Little Village neighborhood after DHS says a man drove up in a Jeep and fired shots at Border Patrol agents.
A suspect is now in custody in connection with Saturday's shooting targeting Border Patrol agents in this mess in Chicago.
And 10 people are facing federal charges of attempted murder this morning. This comes after prosecutors say an Alvarado police officer and correctional officers were attacked Friday night at an ICE detention facility.
Officials say this was a planned attack on ICE agents intended to kill ICE agents. They say this was no peaceful protest. There were shots fired.
You know what? When people start fighting back, then what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna shoot every American? When we start fighting back, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna shoot Americans then? Because that's what we gonna start doing. We're gonna start fighting back. That's what we gonna start doing, fighting back. Goddamn shame, all y'all should put a bullet in y'all heads. Doing Trump's work, every single one of y'all put a bullet in your head. Yeah, I said it. What? I said it. What? I'm a United States citizen. I said it. All y'all put a bullet in your head.
Federal prosecutors have announced charges against a dozen people they say assaulted law enforcement officers during anti-ICE protests in June.
This shooter, we're not sure exactly where he was located, but was able to shoot into that sally port and struck at least 3 people. That shooter now is down from this self-inflicted wound, so we may not know exactly what his plan was, what they were intending to do, other than to shoot people this morning at an ICE facility.
Shoot at ICE agents on site. That's right. If ICE agents are trying to take you or a loved one, shoot them on site.
You can just kill ICE agents. You know that? You can just kill them. You don't have to hold your phone in their face and ask people when their birthday is and ask people what their name is and then try to find wherever they end up. In Los Angeles, you can kill them.
According to the D.C. Metro Police, at around 2:15 local time, a suspect came around the corner of 17th Street and I Street, just about 2 blocks from the White House. And witnesses told the Washington Post that they heard 2 or 3 gunshots, followed by a pause, and then more shots. The D.C. police say the attack appears to have been carried out by a lone gunman who ambushed 2 members of the West Virginia National Guard.
This 29-year-old Afghan entered the country in 2021 through a Biden administration program called Operation Allies Welcome.
National Guard member just got shot today, and that shit it's a good fucking wake up. So now, y'all know your job title is no longer oppressing people. You can get belt to your ass too. It could be you too. So I hope it's harder for you to sleep at night, and I hope you stand on your motherfucking swivel as you refuse to quit serving this motherfucking dictator whose illegal orders to keep you all in D.C. are unconstitutional anyway.
You know, there's so much controversy happening in the United States right now with ICE, who are also wearing uniforms and wearing masks. And so you don't know, people walking around with uniforms in an American city. There are some Americans that might object to that.